Okay, I didn't really think that I would be doing this again. But let's talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to that segment where I talk about things that bother me in the VTubing community or just in streaming as a whole. But I usually talk about VTubers because that's what I do here. I am a VTuber guy. Anyway, my point is, ladies and gentlemen, today let's talk about a problem that I have in the VTuber community, which is the fact that I'm black. And you might think, wow, you're being racist towards yourself. But no, hear me out. Yesterday, I made a tweet in which I distinctly said, and this is gonna probably surprise you the most, you know, bro, whose dick do I have to suck to get a black VTuber model made in this economy? Now, the reality of that tweet is the fact that really it is genuinely difficult. While that tweet might have come out jokingly, it is genuinely difficult as a black individual to get artists in the VTuber community to draw black characters. A lot of artists are not willing, or I guess better terms, they're more afraid to draw black characters. Sometimes they say they don't really understand how to pigment the skin. Some of them say that they're afraid to draw the hair, and you know what? That's understandable to a certain degree. But at the same time, it's hard enough trying to be a male VTuber in this space because a lot of people just don't draw or rig men. But not wanting to draw characters that have darker skin tones is also just a really huge issue. I've seen so many people, including a lot of my friends, who have commissioned art from Skebs or other websites and places, and they have dark skin like me, but the commissioner will purposely take that note and make their skin light. I saw one friend, have their skin color completely, the opposite of what it actually is. One friend, the artist didn't want to go too dark, and so they lightened their skin by a bit, and it was quite noticeable, and they had to keep asking him, please darken it to this shade. And it took like 10 revisions before it actually got to the actual shade because the artist just actively just refused. Again, this isn't really a problem with VTubers, but it's a problem within the space in general. I don't like it at all, and it really does piss me off. I really don't get why it is difficult to draw black people. It's something that just irritates me to the core. It's already bad enough, and again, I don't want to bring too much real life issues and politics into this, but like it's bad enough in real life that black people already really struggle. People of color in general just really struggle to get by. And I'm a very successful black man, which is really rare to be fair. And like in the VTubing space, I want you to go ahead and I want you to think about how many really successful black VTubers you know. Think about it for a second. There are a few. This is true. How many of them are using black models? Wow. Suddenly you really can't think of too many, can you? If even one. Now think of corporate VTubing. I want you to go ahead and think of how many black or dark skinned corporate VTubers there are. Can you think of any? Maybe there's like one or two, but there's not that many, is there? How many people of color are in corporate companies? Yeah. So I'm gonna rest my case right there and just say there's a problem. I think in the VTuber space, I would like to see more representation because at the end of the day, right? What drives and motivates people to want to be a part of something is when they see people like them succeed in that space. And as a successful black man, I'm trying to succeed in the VTuber space to try to make other people like me, know that they have a chance. But it's really difficult when a lot of artists aren't even willing to give it a shot just because of the color of my skin. And it really does suck, right? Like it genuinely does suck. There was an artist on Twitter who ended up following me because he himself, or they said on their tweet that they've worked with a lot of Japanese companies and they like drawing VTuber models, but they want to now work with EN companies to specifically hopefully get to draw more VTuber characters of color, because there aren't that many. I really cannot think of any huge VTuber who has skin like mine. And I'm sure that you're going to probably comment one person, maybe two down below. But think about it, on a corporate level, there's like hundreds upon hundreds of VTubers that are very successful. And if you could only think of one or two of color, I really think that that needs to be addressed. And you know, that's honestly my thoughts on this. I really don't know too much of what else I can say. It just bothered me a lot. I made a tweet, and I would hope that someday in the future this gets addressed. And it's not saying that all artists are like this. Obviously, they are not. There are artists out there who are definitely willing to draw, you know, VTubers of color and people who have my skin tone. But the sad reality is, when I made that tweet on Twitter, the fact that people could only like link me to two artists. Most of the people who commented, artists who are willing to draw, you know, people of color, most of them referred me to two separate artists. There are the hundreds, thousands, maybe millions of artists in the space, but you could only think of two that are willing to draw people of color. That's an issue. It's a huge issue that needs to be addressed. And you know, I know that there are a lot more people out there that are willing to draw people of color. Maybe they just have never had the chance or the opportunity. But I encourage artists and everyone everywhere to maybe just try. I promise you it would make a lot more people happy, because it sucks when I see people like me struggling to find people who are just willing to give us a chance so we can have our dreams come true. And this isn't a personal thing for me. You know, again, I'm already successful being a face cam streamer. But the fact that I think that, you know, I look and I see other people like me not get that chance because they want to do VTubing and there's not many people willing to work with them. That does suck. Anyway, again, didn't want to waste too much of you guys' time. Thank you for even listening to my thoughts on this. I really didn't want to make this video, but here we are. And, you know, hopefully in the future, you know, again, problem is addressed. Please feel free to check out, you know, my other channel where I posted a vlog recently to just end this more at a lighter note. And also check out my podcast called Friends, because I guess that's the thing I do as well. I also stream every single day almost on Twitch. So yeah, I don't know how else to end this. I'm trying to get this video at 8 minutes. I'm looking at the timer. It says 8 minutes. Goodbye, guys. Take care, and I love you guys. Peace.